Hello students, welcome to this computer class. In this class, I will discuss about the second part of the first chapter, which is evolution of computer. In the previous video, I have already completed the first part, which is up to ENIAC. In this video, I will discuss about the next part, which is start from the EDSAC. It is also a first generation computer. The full form of EDSAC is Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. The EDSAC was designed by Professor M. Wilkes of Cambridge University, England, in the year 1949 and was slightly faster than the ENIAC. It weighed approximately 6,000 kilograms and occupied an area of 20 square meters. It was the first electronic computer that used stored program. So the EDSAC was the first computer that used stored programs. Next is EDVAC. The full form of EDVAC is Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. The EDVAC was proposed by John Presper Eckert and John W. Mauchly in 1944. Even as ENIAC was being developed, John von Neumann, who also gave the concept of stored program, joined them later to help in designing EDVAC. So the development of EDVAC was started in the year 1944 and was completed in the year 1948. The EDVAC weighed approximately 8,000 kilograms and covered an area of 44.5 square meters. It had the capacity to hold stored programs as well as data. Fact bite: although the EDVAC was designed earlier than EDSAC, its development got delayed. This made the EDSAC the first computer that used the concept of stored programs. Next is UNIVAC 1. Full form of UNIVAC 1 is Universal Automatic Computer. UNIVAC 1 was developed in the year 1951. Again by John Presper Eckert and John W. Mauchly. It weighed approximately 13,000 kilograms and occupied an area of 35.5 square meters. It was the first commercially available electronic computer and also the first computer to handle both numeric and text data. Next is limitations of first generation computer. Limitation means some restrictions of first generation computers. These are: their operation speed was quite slow, their power consumption was very high, they required large space for installation, their potential to be programmed for tasks was quite limited, they solved only one problem at a time, they were hugely expensive to build. Next is second generation computer. Second generation computer timeline is 1959 to 1964. Some of the characteristics of second generation computers were: these are the characteristics. They were faster and smaller in size than first generation computer. The size of the computer is smaller than the first generation. They were more reliable than the first generation computers. They had many components like printer, memory, disk storage, operating system, etc., which are associated with modern day computers. All modern day computers have printer, memory, disk storage, operating system. Next is transistors were used as their main component. This is the picture of transistor. This is the main technology or main component used in second generation computers, which replaced the vacuum tube. So transistors were used as their main component, which replaced the vacuum tubes used in first generation computers. So in case of first generation computer, the technology used in first generation computer were vacuum tubes. So this is the vacuum tube picture. It is used in first generation computer, but in case of second generation computer, they have transistor as their main component. They were easier to program than the first generation computer, so they had greater commercial use. The programming languages such as COBOL, Fortran came into use during this time. So these are the programming languages. Example of second generation computers are IBM 1401 and RCA 501. Next is third generation computers. The third generation computers were smaller as compared to the second generation computers. Their characteristics were they were faster and smaller than the second generation computer. So size of the third generation computer is smaller than the second generation computer. They used integrated circuits, ICs, short form is ICs, are their main component, which are popularly called chips. This is the picture of IC, integrated circuit, also known as chip. Next, they used new input and output devices such as scanner, magnetic ink reader, magnetic ink character reader, etc. Memory capacity was greatly enlarged. They have more capacity. They used an operating system that allowed machines to run many programs simultaneously. They were general purpose computers and had both scientific and commercial use. These computers used a keyboard to input data and a monitor to display the output. Example of third generation computer is IBM 360 and 370 series. Next is fourth generation computer. The timeline is fourth generation computer is 1971 to present. The fourth generation computer, that is the present day computers, are unique in the following ways. So the computers that are used in our school, colleges, office or our home all are fourth generation computer. Here is the characteristics of fourth generation computers. They use microprocessor, a type of very large scale integrated circuits. This is the short form of very large scale integrated circuit, which contains all the component of CPU on a single chip. What is microprocessor? A microprocessor is a very large scale integrated circuit which contains all the component of CPU on a single chip. The VLSICs perform the bulk of processing and control all parts of the system. The use of microprocessors has resulted in decreased size and increased efficiency. Next point is they have much greater computing power and storage capacity than the earlier generation of computer. Next point is they use improved storage devices that are cheaper than the earlier one. Next is they can be linked together to share common capacity, space and data, etc. Example of fourth generation computers are IBM PC and Apple Macintosh. So that's all for today's class. In the next class I will discuss about fifth generation of computer.